Okay, so, and it came a time in biology, first 6 weeks, getting ready for the first 6 weeks exam, and Jeopardy. We were playing a game of Jeopardy with the material, and we did it 2 separate teams. And the first time I went up to answer, I knew the answer, and I went through the usual spiel. Oh, great. Are you sure that you know the answer? And and usually what happened is, even when I got it right, they still doubted me. But if I got it wrong, it was just confirmation I was stupid in their eyes. But things turned around. I got one answer right, and then all of a sudden, instead of them still thinking I was stupid and it was just a lucky guess, all of a sudden they started trusting me too much. And normally with Jeopardy, I always try to go for the lowest points first and then go for the higher ones. And that's what I try to do, but then I have some of my teammates say, go for the higher ones, you're smart, Alicia, you can do it. And I'll admit, I did let flattery get to me, and I did end up doing that a few times. Funny thing is, even when I got the answers wrong, they still trusted me too much. In fact, near the end, one girl said, I want her on my team next time, Mr. Rimler. Like, turnaround time. And I just became really well known and well liked in high school by the athletes and the cheerleaders and the pep squad. In fact, one JV basketball girl wanted to know why I didn't sit on their bench in addition to the varsity. She really wanted me on that dadgum bench. But I explained to her that Coach Morrison had invited me on. She said, Coach Cook invited you on the bench. Would you get on there? I said, I think so, but I need to talk to my parents first. But my parents and I pretty much came to an agreement that it'd be too much stress to handle 2 benches. So I stayed with the varsity. But it was nice I was wanted. And then that same night, Pep Squad, one of the Pep Squad managers actually asked me if I wanted to be a manager for them. And I was honored that they asked, but I told them that I actually had obligations with the basketball team, but that I was honored that they asked. And it just made me feel so good. Like the gym with the games is one place I could feel like I belong besides the house. So wonderful. And Coach Morrison also asked me to be in athletics with the athletes. And I agreed, and so did my parents, which I thought was wonderful, because I knew then that I'd never have to worry about sitting alone at lunch again. And near the end of that year, this one girl in one of my classes, when she found out I was pretty much an outcast, she started inviting me to sit with her, and so every day at lunch from then on out, I had somebody to sit with near the end of freshman year. And after that, I never had to sit alone at lunch again, ever. So wonderful. One thing about it, though, I also had bouts with insecurity and self-hatred. See, the athletes and the cheerleaders and the pep squad, I feared them finding out that I was autistic. because I was afraid if they found out that they'd hate me too, and that they would also mistreat me, perhaps even do like Nori, or like some people that they meant well and they would say, we want to be your friend, call us, but then when I take them up on it, they back out and they ditch me. So they were well-intentioned fakes, but they were still fakes nonetheless. So I was sort of afraid of that happening, so I didn't want them to find out ever. And near the end of 9th grade, I finally got removed from speech therapy, and they almost removed me from CMC, but my parents stopped them because they were thinking that I might need the help in the future, even if I didn't need it right then. And dadgummit, I was so mad at them, because it'd been a dream of mine for a while to be out of CMC so I could pretend that I didn't have autism and people would never know about it, and I could just pretend to be somebody else entirely and never have to fear being accepted, because the way I figured it, non-disabled people never had problems worrying about being accepted, especially if they were popular, especially if they were athletes or cheerleaders. And so they would always have more than enough acceptance, so I thought. But me, I had something to worry about, so I thought. So I didn't want anybody to find out. So anyways, time went on and came my sophomore year, and I became even more well known, as became evident when one girl I'd never even met said, "Excuse me, Alicia." I said, "I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but how do you know my name?" And she was like, "Everybody knows who you are, Alicia. Your picture's out in the hallway." I was like, "What?" But I was thinking to myself, everybody knows who I am. This is a good feeling. Hi. So, sophomore year, I sort of didn't like it when I went to ARD meeting that I was taken out of athletics, but I was okay with it only because the other classes required some schoolwork that I knew was important, and so I figured I shouldn't be taken out of those. But I didn't want the athletes to ever find out. In fact, one time an athlete joked with me about skipping athletics when I went to the ARD meeting, and I said, oh, it was somewhere I had to go. And I said, and she said, oh, really, where? I was like, it's just somewhere I had to be. She said, oh, I see, you're skipping athletics. I was like, oh, God, please, no. Next video.